Boy, this Camaro sequence sure seems familiar. I'm Justin.
I'd put my One Tree on Her hill, because that's the other show the lead was in. I'm Sam.
Well, if I have to sell my soul to a guy named Faust for a sexy leather outfit and boobs like that, I am so in! This is Ghoulies IV. And I'm Jackie. On Stinker Madness.
What's that smell?
I don't know about you, but I'm thirsty as fuck. Thirsty as fuck.
Hey, look at these!
Thrill me.
If you come back in here, I'm gonna hit you with so many rights, you're gonna beg for a left.
Thrill me.
Beg for a left.
Thrill me.
Hey, look at these!
It stinks.
Stinker Madness.
We are back. Stinker Madness, the podcast about bad movies for bad movie lovers. I'm your host, Justin. With me are always Sam and Jackie. Ghoulies 4 from 1990. What, Sam? Yep.
Hold on.
Ghoulies 4 from
Ghoulies
1990X.
From... I
We
don't know why I was looking at dumb stuff, sorry.
Oh, it's butts. It's butts again. You don't have
It
to
was
call them
butts
dumb
again.
stuff.
94, sorry.
94.
Yeah.
Ghoulies 4 from 94. Directed by Stinker Madness staple Jim Wynorski, James as it were. And starring the guy from Ghoulies 1, apparently the lady from One Tree Hill, and nobody else. Jackie?
I thought the partner was somebody.
Is
Like-
that the One Tree Hill lady?
No, the
One
guy.
Tree Hill lady's the captain who used to be his partner.
Yeah. I don't know the goofy Makazo or Makazo, whatever the heck his name is. But Jackie, it's your pick this week. What made you choose Ghoulies 4?
I've really liked the other Ghoulies.
Mm-hmm.
And so, okay. In the first one, they were a little goopy
Right.
and gross. But then in this one, they were okay. And they've gotten better with each take that we've done of the Ghoulies franchise. They've gotten less goopy.
Less goopy, but better. I don't know if that's the right word.
No, they're all ugly as shit. But I don't know. I just, I like the franchise and I thought, well, we haven't done the fourth one. I kind of want to see it. So I'm going to talk these guys into doing it by making it my pick.
There you go. You can always force a stinker on us that way. Sam?
It's easy to get Wynorski over on us as well.
Yeah, that's
so.
true. That's true.
I did not know that Wynorski directed this until the credits were rolling. And I was like, oh my God, there's going to be boobs in this movie. What a disappointment.
He replaced the boobs with copious lines of dialogue that were a little had nothing to do with the movie.
Right. The two
We were
ghoulies
laughing
just yelling at each other, going, "You're an idiot now. You're an idiot. Hey, we're both idiots."
Yeah.
Sam, why don't you go ahead and tell us everything you can about Ghoulies 4?
Well, the original The Ghoulies had started out, it was pitched to Charles Band by Luca Bercovici and Jeffrey Levy.
Luca
The
Brasi?
second of which is the guy who directed Single White Female.
Oh, okay.
But they did the first one, and it was a pretty good haul at the theater, and Band liked it so much that the sequel he gave to his dad. Albert Band actually did the second one.
I love this
And,
franchise. Here you go, Dad.
Yes. Well, I mean, he liked it enough to give it to somebody, right? If he would have liked it more, he would have done it himself. But
Right.
He liked it just enough to give to his dad. And then after that, they were like, you know what? Fuck this. We're out. And they sold it to like Viacom or somebody. And then Cinetel gets a hold of it for this one. And so the franchise had passed hands twice by the time Wynorski gets a hold of it. And then in classic Wynorski fashion, why do you think all of the sudden you get this guy, the lead from Peter Liapis?
Yeah, Peter Liapis.
Well, you're like, well, I guess he got a hold, but Wynorski's not going to go out of his way to get a hold of anybody, right? And I find out that Peter Liapis and Wynorski were together, pretty much rewrote the script all together. So I figure he's just friends with Peter Liapis, and he doesn't get a hold of Peter Liapis to do you're like, oh, I'm going to do the sequel to your old movie series. You want back in? He's like, hey, you were in Ghoulies, right? Yeah. Hey, that's up in the air. You want to do another one? Okay. That's how I figured this happened. He's already friends with Peter Liapis because he's notorious for letting the lead rewrite the script with him if they're already friends.
It's weird.
And also for putting his friends in as leads.
It's weird because when I went into the doctor for warts on my dick, the medical procedure that they recommended was a Peter Liapis.
By Dr. Rochelle. This is the third of 12 appearances of Ace Mask as Dr. Rochelle in Jim Wynorski movies.
Oh my God.
In case you were wondering.
No Michelle Bauer though, but Peter
No
Liapis is a strange name, and it does sound like a medical procedure. But he was also the actor from Ghoulies 1, and Jackie and I had to look it up because we saw Ghoulies 1, and he kind of doesn't look at all like the same Peter Liapis that's in the first one.
He hit the weight room a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, and his hair wasn't as cool.
You think?
Well, he still had good hair, don't get me wrong. But he didn't, I don't know how to explain it. I don't think he aged as well. Because when we go to the flashbacks, right, he has a very youthful look, and he's got feathered bangs that are hanging over his forehead.
He's got a villainous face.
Right. And then in this one, he totally looks like the rugged hard-ass cop, right?
Right.
And he looks like he's maybe been rode hard, put away wet.
I think that's exactly the character arc, too.
Yeah.
Rode hard by many ladies of the night.
Yeah. He's seen some alcohol, some cigarettes, and a lot of loose women.
I have some questions about how loose these women are that he's been involved with, because there's some dialogue that leads me to believe that they're a little looser than maybe normal girlfriends. What else, Sam?
Well, to touch back in on Peter Liapis in his earlier look is straight up, I'm Eric Roberts.
Right. Yeah, a little.
That's
Yeah,
how he
yeah.
gets his jobs. No, he looked just like Eric Roberts.
Oh,
Whereas
little, but pretty close.
With this one, you're like, man, you look a lot like Eric Roberts. Good thing you don't comb your hair the same way.
Right.
But before he was combing his hair the same way, and he was completely indistinct. He was just shitty Eric Roberts. Not that I don't know if he ever gets out of that, but at least he's shitty Eric Roberts with his own haircut.
There you go.
And it was a fine haircut, too. I mean, he looked nice.
The reason for the costumes, the main reason for the non-ghoulies, is that it was just cheaper to do guys in costumes.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Like Jackie's saying they look better. No, dude, they look like shit. They went from puppets to little people in troll-esque masks. Like, they look terrible.
Well, what I'm saying is that they didn't have goop on them.
They're less goopy, of course, but that doesn't necessarily always mean better. It just means cheaper.
in their journey from ghoulies that were goopy to this, they've essentially become not ghoulies at all.
Exactly. They're trolls. They're part of the troll franchise. They're going to eat her and then me. Oh my God. There's only 2 of them. All the other ones have at least like 6, 7 ghoulies, especially the one in the circus. Had like
the green
10.
one from the toilet.
Yeah, the green one in the toilet, of course. But this is like, hey, we got 2 ghoulies. 2 ghoulies have showed up, and they don't even do ghoulie stuff. They just run around and make jokes at each other. It was
They're
like,
not.
What the fuck?
They're not ghoulies.
They're not
we just
ghoulies.
we have to admit this up front. We don't have any. No, it's not. We got 2. We've got 0 ghoulies, but we've got these 2 nutstacks instead, and they're moderately amusing.
They're more munchy than ghoulie.
He's got a couple of shitty munchies, is what he's got.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is they're better than Munchie. I'll give them that, because Munchie's really shitty. But yeah, I don't know.
Had they got as much screen time as Munchie, things could have gone south for him.
Oh, of course.
And really, I thought like the script, because I've always thought of Ghoulies movies as being like, kids movies.
A little, yeah.
Yeah, and this was not a kids movie.
No, it was a Wynorski movie.
Yeah,
It's straight up Wynorski makes fun of LA 3 times.
Right.
everything. His relationship talk is just like, I think him trying to use the screen as a sounding board for why he doesn't understand why these women just keep walking out at him for not really caring at all. Yeah, it's just a Wynorski movie,
Right.
and there's some guys in it that aren't ghoulies.
The plot isn't even really about ghoulies either. The plot is about like the backdrop of ghoulies, like the realms and the magic behind where ghoulies come from. But and there just happens to be a couple munchies in it, but it's not about ghoulies.
No.
So
It's not about cops either. It's sort of about like being in LA
right.
and being promiscuous in the 90s, which
Yeah,
is
exactly.
very common in this period of Wynorski films.
My God. What else you got, Sammy?
Oh, that's about the size of it. I mean,
Okay.
that's the flush out there is that we're watching a 90s Wynorski film, so that's what you're going to get.
Right.
I wish I was him. I wish I could have been him.
See, and I kind of thought with you guys that the real moral of the story was if you're a good bang, people will do anything, and I mean anything, kill people, sacrifice them on altars to get you back.
Another common theme in Wynorski films.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess if you haven't seen this, we should preface this at the beginning of the episode. I always make the mistake of saying it at the end. But it is currently streaming on Amazon Prime. Unfortunately, you have to stick with us to see if we give it a do or a do not at the end of this.
Ha!
Ha! You're stuck. So this thing does start out pretty goddamn hot because the very first thing that happens is a door explodes to a shot of a spandex lady.
Yeah, heavy leather lady walks through a door that just blew up. No warning. You're like, hey, I'm watching a Wynorski film.
Right. This character's name is Alexandra. She does not appear in any of the other ghoulies as far as I can determine.
No, she doesn't. She is in Trancers 3 and 4, and then she is the one person that says, and if you look at her filmography, it's not impressive. She says she's actually embarrassed about this one. And I think she did fine.
Yeah, I thought
she was giving it everything that Jimbo wanted. I don't know what her problem is.
Right.
Yeah, just put your hands behind your back and try to touch your elbows together.
Yeah, I meant the character I don't think is in any of the other ghoulies, even though there is some dialogue that leads the viewer of this one to believe that she is in the ghoulies because basically, to recap the franchise, the very first one is the only one that's really relevant to this plot, where Jonathan is like this college doofus whose father dabbled in magic and like for generations has handed down this like little crappy moonstone that is some sort of power device to reach into other realms where I guess hell. I guess it's maybe purgatory or whatever, but it's not necessarily the Catholic hell, as it were. And he throws a house party, a garden party, and is like, hey, guys, let's do some magic in my basement. And they summon the ghoulies. And then Jonathan like has to fight to save his soul from being like the magic is like a heroin addiction, so he has to like, I can fight it, and they have to put him in rehab basically in his own basement where he keeps the magic, so it's a bad place for rehab, but eventually he defights the magic and is able to carry on about his life.
This film then retcons it that his girlfriend previous to that happening was this gal here.
Right.
And,
That's not what happened.
Afterwards, what happens is he just becomes one tough cop.
Right. Of course, that's your national progressions. I've had magic rehab. I've got one choice. One tough cop.
Yeah. Also, it would it raises the point that if these are demons from hell, hell is just an awful place unless you don't mind kicking things that are small.
Right. Oh, yeah. Like you get to punt ghoulies all the time.
Ghoulies are like a real problem unless you kick them across the room.
And it seems like what this film is telling us, because we do get introduced to a character whose motivation is quite dubious that we'll discuss later, named Faustus. I guess he's the, well, I know the original Faust is Faustus. This guy's just Faust. I'm guessing he's Faust?
Well, he's Jonathan's evil half's persona. So he's given his evil half a pseudonym, Faust, and then that evil half is living in hell, and his good half has been one tough cop.
Right, which seems to me like what you do in hell is you just kind of hang out in your bathrobe and are like, every now and then you come into our world and be like, I need a sacrifice. I'm getting weak. So the only thing you do in hell
Sure.
is just sit around waiting to essentially consume somebody's soul because you're hungry. And if you don't eat a soul, you get weak. But that it doesn't seem like he's having a bad time down there.
No,
He's just like,
if you hang around him longer when he's in like, oh, you're gonna go get me another soul, right? Yeah. Did you hear that new Danzig album? It's hot. Listened to it 1,000 times already. I'm not joking. 1,000 times.
yeah, it's just like living in your mom's basement. Hell.
Yes. Hell is your mom's basement. It's not so bad. You like the pizza snacks?
Hey, while you're out, get me another soul. I'm going to try those baked Lay's souls. I heard they got those at the gas station up there.
I don't know what to say. I kind of feel like everybody's looking at me.
Well, you just opened your mouth like you were going to say something, and then no words came out.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
You've never lived in your mother's basement, I take it, and listened to Danzig, so yeah, I understand.
I like my parents, so living in the basement would probably be pretty fucking sweet. Like having somebody to clean your toilet, make your bed, give you all the food you want, be your
Not
best
going
friend.
to work.
Yeah, be your best friend. They hang out and watch TV with you, but they respect your privacy.
I said do my laundry, Mom! Now get out of the basement! I'm listening to Danzig!
That would
Put
be
on my
you.
football cards in the wrong order again. God.
Oh, so what time's dinner? Yeah, so basically, that you're now caught up on the world of the character arc of Jonathan. He's now one tough cop with a case of narcolepsy, I believe, and I don't know if that's related from having his evil side stuck in purgatory or not, or if he just needs to see a doctor. Either way, Alexander busts into this warehouse. It's like a museum warehouse where they keep all the old relics and stuff that haven't gone up on display yet. And there's a few security guards there, and she kills all of them. She's got a gun. I don't know why she doesn't lead with that, but then she uses a ninja star. She breaks one other guy's neck or like chokes him out or something, all while keeping her titty in place. I was very surprised she was able to do that.
I'm thinking this is one of the only times that Wynorski had to use multiple takes.
Yeah, I'm pretty
when
sure
he had
they
to
came
keep
out.
the titties in there. He's like, we got to keep those in there?
Oh,
This is going to take a few shots.
I think that they probably just taped him into place.
There was a couple times where I'm like, they cut away from it clearly about to pop out.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Oh, yeah. I've got a radar, I zoom right into them. But anyways, she opens up a crate, and this begins what I call the ritual, which is drawing a pentagram and then laying some bodies on it, and that's how you can get Faust to make a phone call. Like, it's like ATT, reach out and touch a dead guy.
Well, and this kind of blows your whole soul eating thing, because these people are already dead.
Right?
I mean, these people are obviously dead. Their souls have went wherever they're going to go. So he's just a corpse consumer at this point.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know what I think, like I say, this is just like Pac Bell for Purgatory.
Yeah. Ma Bell, I got the ill communication.
However, the corpses do disappear, which is like, I guess the quarter, when you stick it in the phone machine, it disappears too. Hey, kids, remember phone machines? Yeah, I don't. So they disappear. Faust shows up, and he's like, hey, good to see you, Alexander, looking hot. While you're up there, can you get us some more Mountain Dews and the Moonstone?
Why do you keep calling it a moonstone? It's obviously a ruby.
Because
it's the
got
knowledge
secret powers.
stone, according to the movie.
Yeah, it's a knowledge stone.
Not this first one. The second one is the knowledge stone. This first one is just the gem. I don't know what it is.
The same one.
No, it's not, because this is here we go. And also the Ghoulies have like popped out. Yeah.
In the story world, it's not the same one.
Right.
But
in the prop world, it is.
In the prop world, it's the same one.
Right.
Okay. But
the Ghoulies have also popped out. Two little Ghoulies. They're
no, they haven't. Those are just little dickheads in costumes.
Right.
Oh, Sam stole my joke.
And so she bungles the whole thing. He's like, bring me the gem. And she's like, well, here you go. And she walks within the pentagram, and he's like, no, God damn it. Don't do that. And it like drops out of her hand and disappears. What the fuck was she supposed to do?
Yeah, man. That's when she turns to him and goes, "Hey, bruh, in specific instructions generate unpredictable results, man.
So do I
Come on.
Do I chuck it at you? What? How does this work? Because I just walked over there to hand it to you.
Well,
Because that's
later,
what you told me to do.
Right.
yeah, and later they have a sacrifice that has to go along with this gem. So, this guy is really shitty at instructions.
Oh, damn it. You screwed up again, Mom. Also, how's my laundry coming? Now get out of here.
There's a sock on the door for a reason, Mom.
Yeah, go, Mom. Don't you knock? Also, could you top us up on Doritos?
Yeah. Should you get any more, like the Cheetos poofs, the poofy ones? I don't like, and the white cheddar.
Not the crunchy ones. Go. Elsewhere, we get introduced back. Well, we sort of get introduced to Jonathan and his new partner, Mancuso.
Scott Mancuso, dickhead.
Yeah, right.
I liked this little guy.
I did too. He was probably the best part of the movie. They're on a stakeout. As we said, Jonathan Graves has got. He's very sleepy. He can't really keep his eyes open no matter what time of the day it is, and he has fallen asleep while on a stakeout while Mancuso was in the grocery store getting some nachos. And he's like, hey, Jonathan, wake up. And Jonathan pulls a fucking gun on him and is like, who are you?
Yeah.
It's almost like he's got the Vietnam flashbacks at this point.
He needs to get down and have himself an eval.
Yeah, I need to see my analyst. So he's like, oh, man, all right, fine. I got to go into the market and get some coffee. And he's in there pouring a cup of coffee. He sees a shady guy because, he's one tough cop. He's got a sense for these things. And he's like...
Well, let me just interrupt you there. Nobody browses the Dorito sacks like they're a magazine rack. Okay, that is probably number one. You're going to rob this joint. Because, quite honestly, the guy's looking through the Dorito individual packs like, yeah.
This one's pretty good.
Oh, have you seen the cover on this one?
Hubba.
Also, he's still dressed like he got done breaking rocks all day.
Right?
Yeah.
So he runs outside. He tries to flag down Mancuso and is like, hey, there's some shit going on over here. Get in here. And Mancuso cannot pick up what he's saying because he's kind of a ding-dong.
Well, he's like,
so
call
they play
for backup.
charades. This is great. They play charades to get call for backup, and he's like, call for back Sky? Who's McLeod? I mean, that was fucking funny.
It was funny.
He's like, God damn it, this guy's an idiot. So he goes in solo. Mancuso eventually comes in, but immediately gets knocked on the head somehow and passes out.
Oh, John jumps on him to save him from the shotgun blast that's coming.
Right, and that makes him unconscious. That renders him unconscious.
Well, he knocks his head into the counter.
Kneeling down to the ground.
He knocks his head into the counter.
He just faints from being scared. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
A spider!
Yeah, what proceeds next is they shoot this place up, and the guy behind the counter is like, fuck, just rob me next time.
Right.
You just blew everything off the shelves.
There was $26
That's so much more
in the cash
expensive.
register.
Yeah. Even if it was $200, come on now.
Yeah, that's way more merchandise in here that has now been damaged.
I like that Graves goes in there and takes Mancuso's gun and starts dual wielding. It's pretty sweet.
Oh, yeah.
And he's not even shooting at the guy. He's just blowing shit up.
Blowing the fuck out of the ramen section.
I just kind of, after watching this, though, I did say I kind of wanted to take my airsoft gun and shoot a box of cereal and see what would happen.
All right. I think you need an actual gun.
Oh, because I bet it would just explode and it would be awesome.
If you had a gun.
If you had an airsoft gun and you shot it, it would leave a little hole the size of the airsoft pellet.
Now my cereal's going bad. Well.
Yeah. Justin won't let me have a real gun.
No, I will not, because you'll shoot me in the middle of the night because you have you have night scares, Jackie, and have punched me repeatedly while sleeping. So
hey, Jennifer Lopez had it coming in that one first time.
Right. Now, next time you're going to shoot Jennifer Lopez, and instead it's going to be me or one of the dogs. So no, you can't have a gun. Anyways, you can have a bow and arrow though. I don't think you can string
hard
up
to operate in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I think I'm safe there.
I do want a bow and arrow. My birthday's coming.
She tries to, like, while she's having the Jennifer Lopez night terror, she grabs the bow and then just beats me over the head with it rather than using it for its intended purpose.
You're still going to have a bad time. You just won't die.
Right. Okay, so the perp is dead eventually. Mancuso's outside chucking his brains out because I don't know if it's from the concussion or he is like, I'm scared of spiders, or because he saw a dead guy. I'm not real sure, but he's pukey. And Captain Kate comes in, Graves' ex-lover, and is like, hey, it looks like you've blown this town all to hell, Jonathan Graves. But I still kind of like the way you operate. It reminds me of when we were partners.
Yeah.
Now get the hell out of here.
She's bored because she's riding the desk these days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, because I
And
don't
the
think
dishwasher.
I don't think that police chiefs actually go to crime scenes.
Captains. She's captain.
Yeah, like
Not a
captains.
chief.
They don't go to like.
Captains do. Yeah, captains do.
They do.
Yeah, not chiefs. Not chiefs, but captains do.
Why would she be riding the washer machine?
Because it feels nice.
Oh, now I know why you want me to go back to work.
Not for me. That would smash my balls. But if I had other parts.
You could always try it with your butt and just see what happens.
Yeah.
I would.
mean, you're locked in for God knows how long.
Yeah,
It's only
I
a
guess.
matter of time, really.
Right. So she's like, all right, well, the only way you're going to be working the case anymore is if you get rid of Mancuso because he needs to sit the desk for a little while because he's pukey. So you and I are going to have to team up and let's go check out this warehouse. Meanwhile, we realize that Jonathan is wearing a replica or the exact same gem from the beginning of the movie around his neck.
With a crappy cord.
Mm-hmm.
This is so 90s because in the 90s, I'm not going to lie, a lot of the sweet necklaces that you would go out to buy that all your friends had, you know, like puka shells and
The $5 pieces of shit? Yeah,
Yeah.
they were shitty necklaces.
yeah, and they all had those weird black leather strings.
It was just normal string because they were that shitty.
Right. In the sewers, Laurel and Hardy are down there working.
This was
This
like
is the guy, right? This is the actual guy from the Honeymooners.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I think that. I'm checking again, but I'm pretty sure that's actually him.
No,
it's not an impersonator.
The guy from the Honeymooners was Jackie Gleason.
No, the other guy. Jackie Gleason's
The
dead
neighbor.
at this point.
Oh.
the guy with the hat and the fedora hat. He would have been.
No, that was John Ritter.
John Ritter was what?
He was the 8-year-old neighbor in the Honeymooners. Get out of here, Skippy, or I'll punch you in the mouth. Not me, mister. And then he shot him with a slingshot. You don't remember that in the Honeymooners?
I thought that was Dennis the Menace.
That's how Frank died. Yeah. Frank Honeymooner. I don't know shit about the Honeymooners.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're just talking out your washing machine butt there. You've got soapy butt.
Yep, I sure do. I thought these were just two guys that look exactly like Oliver,
They think the one of them's an impersonator, actually.
Laurel, and Hardy. They were fantastic.
Yeah.
So they're down there working in the sewers, and they split up to go find whatever they're supposed to do. Hardy finds Alexandra down there. I don't know why she's in the sewers. I guess that's just where you hang out when you're a leather-clad booby lady. But she's like, "Oh, hey, dude," and then she
I
snaps
noticed
his-
your jumpsuit doesn't fit.
right,
And you can only zip it up just beyond your wiener.
let me help you with that. Snap his neck. So he's dead. She drags him over so that she can perform the ritual. And
Why is it drawn on the wall this time?
right?
Because there wasn't enough room in the dirt.
Well,
Oh, okay.
because Hardy's a big fat guy.
They couldn't get the pinnacle big enough.
Pen-
The pinnacle.
Is that what it's called? Pinnacle?
The pinnacle. Yeah.
pentagram.
Pentagram.
Pinnacle of
Well, now
devil
my
worship.
cover's blown. Everybody now knows that I'm not a devil worshiper. Damn.
So Faust shows up and he's like, "Hey, get that second jewel, dude, or else." She's like, "Fine. God, I was trying to anyways. Why do you think I called you?"
Well, she was trying to just give up. Let's be honest here.
That's why she was in the sewers.
This time she's like, hey, I willingly give my life so we can be together. So you can continue to hunt me.
Right.
And he's like, no, bitch, go get the fucking gem.
Oh.
And she's like, shit, I was this fucking close. And then he was like, well, just go get the gem, okay?
Yeah.
Like, I'm really not interested in what you've got to offer. I've been there, done that.
God, you threw yourself at me on the second date. What do you think? Give me some gems.
Now this is the second pentagram, and you're doing the same thing, throwing yourself at me.
Stop calling me. Go.
Oh, look, here's the deal. There's only room in this basement for me. If you want me, you're going to have to get me out of here by giving me a bunch of stuff that my mom gives me.
Right.
Exactly.
Now go get out of here. Also, Laurel doesn't make it. I don't know if he gets eaten or what, but it sounds like she's munching on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they couldn't afford the tape for the boob slip for the next kill.
Yeah, I guess. So the cops show up. Graves and Kate, they show up at the warehouse and they're looking around. The Ghoulies spot him and they're like, "Hey, it's that guy from the first movie." And he's like, this looks like stuff I've seen before from the first movie, because there's some graffiti outside. I don't know who made the graffiti. Maybe the Ghoulies did it. And he's like, hey, that's one of those ghoulie things.
I did not pick up on what that graffiti was.
Yeah, I don't know either.
It goes away and never comes back.
Yeah,
he's like, take pictures of it. And she's like, what does that mean? And he's like, it's from the Book of the Dead. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then now you're saying that it was part of the first movie, but I don't remember that at all.
No, that's what he says. It's part of the first movie, but it wasn't in the first movie at all because they're retconning this whole thing.
Oh, I think somebody just graffitied their set and they're like, we're going to use it.
Yeah, use it.
Everything in this movie that was in the first movie was actually just scenes from the first movie.
Right,
so
exactly.
It's easy to distinguish that.
And he's like, yeah, it's from the Book of the Dead. Haven't you ever seen Army of Darkness? Call. And she's like, okay, well, you're crazy, but I think you need to go home. And
I can't. My mom's there watching her soaps.
what? No, Jonathan lives in like a sweet apartment by himself.
Oh, that's right. He's not the basement, Jonathan. Sorry.
Yeah.
His apartment is way too nice.
It's way too nice.
Yeah, no, but a cop cannot afford that on his salary.
Like,
and he's got like artwork and shit in there. Like, did you guys see the big red T that was back there underneath the staircase? Right. I'm like, cops don't have the money for fucking bullshit art like that.
He's got antique furniture. It's like a 1,300, or I mean, like a 3,000 square foot apartment. It's like, nope. But you know, he's a swank guy. So, but the Ghoulies are like, hey, we got to follow him. He's got the gem. Let's get in his car. I don't know why we need the gem, but I like pretty shiny stuff. So let's go. For some reason, Jonathan's like, hold on. I got to call the mental institute and ask about somebody. And I guess that he's calling about Alexandra.
Yeah, that's what I guess is happening here.
Okay.
Yeah, you kind of figured that out later, why he's calling.
Yeah, but why was she in the bin?
That's where he left her. He says that later.
Yeah,
that's what happened in the bin, is that her breaking loose, she killed all of the guards, so now the bin's just a wild zoo where the inmates are running the prison.
Right, but why was she in the bin?
Because of the devil worshipping crazy business.
He was the devil worshiper.
She tried to kill him.
Yeah.
During one of the rituals. And so he decided that was enough. And that's when he quit being a devil worshiper and had her committed.
Right. You tried to do the right thing by stopping me from summoning the armies of the devil. Go to the bin.
It's like, whoa, you were going to kill me. And she's like, isn't that what this whole ritual is all about?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, now when I think about it, this is dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, because back then she was willing to trade up for Faust.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, you're just not good enough.
You go to the bin. Okay. The Ghoulies have tried to boost his car because they were like, we're going to need to follow him. But now they're like, let's steal his car. I don't know why. They can't get it started. One of them steps on the shotgun that's in the front of it, blows a hole through the roof. And Jonathan's like, shit, shotgun, which leads to more hijinks.
Which leads to the store clerk trying to kill him
Right.
because the store clerk thinks that he's trying to rob him. And then he finally gets out there and he's like, wait, you little bastards. And he tries to run after him. But, you know, little people in costumes, they can run so fast that nobody can catch them.
That's right. like Usain Bolt. Yep.
Well,
I
mean,
think
if
he's
you
just a cop that doesn't like running people down.
yeah. Well, and if you really think about it, Lady and Alexandra can't even catch these guys.
That's true.
When they run.
That's
So
true.
maybe they are Usain Bolt.
Maybe they've got super fast powers or something. Like they've got little, ghoulie
No.
powers.
Good guys and bad guys in this movie, all lazy fucks.
Yeah, right.
After about 3 or 4 steps, like, okay, if you're going to run away, I'm not even going to fucking bother with you.
In the
Fuck.
deleted scenes, Jonathan actually did chase after them quite a bit, but then he fell asleep like after 5 steps. And so.
He turned left, ended up in my own private Idaho.
Right.
Very obscure.
Yeah, a little obscure.
Yeah. Well, they both had narcolepsy. There's a small string connecting them.
Whoa.
This is also, we get Scott shows back up, his partner.
Yeah, Mancuso.
Mancuso. And she's like, boy, you're such a greenhorn. Fuck off and go home.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, okay. And then he fucking lights it up. Like, he doesn't just drive off. He gets into the car and he just fucking lights it up and then leaves. You're like, whoa, dude, you should be a race car driver, not the worst cop I've ever seen.
Yeah, no, it was pretty sweet. He has to leave because he saw like a vision of Alexander coming to him through like this cardboard stand up that's outside of the gas station. He's like, "Who's this, babe?" And she's like, "Hey, big boy." And then she disappears in front of his eyes, and he's like, "Where'd she go?" And then he gets in his car, peels away, and she's in the back seat, and she's like, "Hey," and he's like, "Whoa!" And then I believe they have sex.
Well,
Yeah.
what really happens is that he gets a boner, and the police cop lady's like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
Right?
Oh my God, you're over 14. You should not be having boner issues in the middle of your job. Please go home and quit looking at that cognac sign.
Yeah, we've got no time for boners in this line of work.
Wait, hold on, back up. We can't have boner issues at work?
Yeah, it's pretty much frowned upon, Sam.
Well,
In
you can't
1992?
do anything about it. It's just, they just show up. It's like the Tooth Fairy.
Said Justice, oh fuck, now I'm blanking on his name. Carl Weathers.
Carl.
The Anita Hill guy. What the fuck is his name?
Clarence Thomas.
Clarence Thomas. Yeah, I just can't help getting a boner.
He
at
got
work.
boners at work. He's in prison now. Oh, shit.
No, he's
Or
not.
maybe he's dead.
He's a
I don't even
goddamn
know what
Supreme
happened.
Court justice, you fucking
Still?
buffoon. Still, he's in prison. No, that was
What- what-
Cosby.
What happens when... So
You
you don't...
racist
okay,
son of a bitch.
I can just get boners at work and not have to worry about prison time. This is great.
I think you can get a boner at work. You just can't tell anybody about it.
But if they can see it because you bought pants that were too tight, all you skinny jean wearing motherfuckers.
Well, nobody's wearing skinny jeans right now because we're all at home. We're in
Sure.
sweatpants, and everybody's walking around with obvious boners.
Sweatpants. There's no concealing boners in sweatpants. That's what we all know.
Next time anybody's at work and they're having a little Zoom conference, just think about the things you can't see.
The Fleshlight sales are skyrocketing right now.
Phil, what did you? Phil, we're waiting on you to give us that report, Phil.
Hold on. This is good. Things are good.
These TBS reports. Oh boy. At least the women get to join us in being disgusting now too. They can masturbate at work. Have at it, ladies.
Because before then masturbating at work was really the man's domain.
Because ladies would never pretend to be taking a massive deuce in the bathroom
Right?
with their Playboy magazine.
Playboy.
Playgirl magazine.
All right. Swinging both ways. I like it. All right. So anyways, we got to talk about this movie. So I think that she humps him or like just pretends to hump him long enough to like take over his willpower or something. I'm not
Sure.
really
He's under mind control.
Yeah, right.
And meanwhile, now we've cut to the curator of the museum, who's apparently dirty, in her strange choice of car, Camaro without a grill.
Huh. That's strange. This scene, I was like, God, I've seen that car before. I wonder if that's Jim Wynorski's car. Oh.
No, this is Jim Wynorski's. Whenever I want to use this crash sequence,
Right.
I just have to find this year of a Camaro.
Oh, I'm okay. Now I it's probably still his car. He probably still has a white Camaro, but yeah, this was from 976 Evil 2. This whole sequence.
Yep, sure was.
We did that movie on this on this podcast.
It's nice when we get people back,
Right.
but it's rare when we get whole scenes back.
That's the first time we've ever covered a movie twice unintentionally on the podcast.
Well, and you know what? I don't blame Wynorski for using this scene again because, let's be real honest, the explosion at the end is fucking bitchin'.
Oh, it was an expensive sequence for a
It is
Jim
a
Wynorski movie.
bitchin' Camaro, like, fucking explosion. There's a tree that shoots out and barrels that are just flying everywhere.
Right. Lots of cars get smashed up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the crashes are his. I think he pilfered that explosion even the first time.
Maybe.
Because I think that the Camaro was a little odd even the first time. I'm like, why are they driving that car?
Someone brave and super bored, go back and listen to our 976 Evil 2 episode and let us know what our thoughts were at that point. That was like 5 years ago, so I'm good on that shit.
Was it 5 years ago?
No, we did 976 Evil 2 somewhere in there. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
It's been a long time.
Yeah. Okay, so anyways, so the curator of the museum's dead because I guess Satan was like, hey, lady, is your refrigerator running? I don't know why Satan is taking the time out of his day to, like, fuck with the curator of the museum, who's not even the curator of the museum. She was just there, like, I think she got in as a job to, like, she was filling
in.
stuff.
She was filling in. She was, like, the intern for the director who was in Europe.
Right.
Is what she said.
And then she immediately started finding fences and moving shit on the black market.
Right.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Satan's like, let's fuck with her. I
Yeah.
don't know why she's in the movie other than to fill time so that Jim
And-
had a sequence he could use.
Yeah, that's the only reason she's in this movie.
Back at Graves' apartment, we get introduced to his girlfriend, Bridget or something. I don't know. Wendy,
Sarah.
Brenda, whatever the hell her name is. Sarah's too nice of a name. She's
Janine?
Janine, yeah, Janine's a good name for her. Yeah.
Or, no, she has a full name because
No, I
they
think
keep
it's
using
Janine.
it over the hooker.
Yeah.
She was a hooker?
I think
Yeah,
she
she's
was
a
a
hooker.
dancer.
No, she says pimps are such a pain in the ass at one
Oh.
point. Then she talks about how she screws him hard, and then she's like, well, if you're going to fall asleep, I'm going to go out to work. Then she gets home, and she's like, no, I just worked all night. You can't bone me now. Unless you pay me.
Right.
She is straight up a hooker.
Wow.
And she has a full name because then when the Faust guy finds out, she has it through turning somebody into a demon and then asking him some questions. He's like, so-and-so has it, and he gives a full name.
Right.
Oh.
But I think it is Janine.
Janine Michaels.
That sounds right. I was going to go with Tits McGee, but, you know, whatever.
I was
Yeah.
going to go with the waitress with boobs because she looks like the waitress from Sunny. But she's clearly not because the age wouldn't line up.
No.
Anyways. So she is like, you motherfucker, you fall asleep on me again. Oh, hey, I like your little gem necklace. And she pilfers it, and now she's walking around wearing it.
It went with her earrings. She's going to probably make 10 more bucks than she would have without it.
Nice. 10's along. Hey, that's, that's 10 times 8 Johns per night. That adds
It's
up.
one less tug job.
Right?
Worth it.
80. Oh, man. She's probably like, yeah, I'll do more tug jobs. I'd rather do that than the butt stuff.
Depends. The butt stuff can be expensive.
Well, if you have enough to butt stuff, then you end up wearing Depends. So
I don't think that that's true. I have never heard of somebody having too much butt sex and then not being able to control their sphincter.
No, it's true. I saw it on National Geographic.
National Geographic was like, all right, kids, that's enough of snow leopards. Here's an anal prolapse.
Yep, right.
Oh my God. They're like, this lion has been had sex up the butt for 5 years. Notice how the shit just falls out.
Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So the Ghoulies are walking around downtown. They're looking for Graves' place, like where the hell he lives. And they spot some guy jacking a lady, like, hey, I'm going to cut you, lady, unless you give me all your stuff. I might cut you anyways. And they're like, fuck that shit. We're superheroes now for some reason, even though we were killing guys in other movies. I'm not really sure what our motivations are. So they grab some construction gear. I'm not even sure what they do. And they whack this guy, and he passes out. And the lady's like, my hero, let me take you back and give you a treat.
Yep, she gives these two not ghoulies a freebie.
So she was a hooker too?
Yeah, she's a hooker.
Yeah,
That's
so
what she was
everybody's
saying.
a hooker?
Well, everybody on this corner was getting picked up by Johns that were all dressed like hookers were hookers. And he was robbing her, and she's like, I haven't even made any money yet.
God
He's
damn
like,
it.
I know you have. So the bums are robbing the hookers prematurely because things were bad in LA at this time. It was tough all over.
So she screws a couple ghoulies, I guess.
They're not ghoulies.
Or a couple munchies.
Yes, a couple of munchies get the time of their life.
Huh.
She rides that one's horn. His unicorn horn that he has in the middle of his head.
Mm-hmm.
The one with the black hair.
She's not particular.
She's like, there's a blaze in France. And she just does it to that song on his horn.
Yep, that checks out. Okay.
It's odd that there's less about hookers than yeah. Wow.
Okay, well, Graves has been called downtown, not downtown, back down to the warehouse by Manzuko, who's like, hey, get down here. We got to do some stuff. And the girlfriend's like, fuck off. And he's like, no, stick around. I'm going to bone you. And she's like, no, fuck off. Okay, Manzuko, I'm coming down. It's a trap, though, because Manzuko's been taken over mentally. And they get in a fight. It's a pretty sweet fight.
This was a point where I realized, because they used a 3-camera setup for this fight. Mm-hmm. And so regardless of the fact that he recycled an entire scene from one of his other movies that wasn't a Ghoulies and recycled some Ghoulies movies, there was some production stuff. Like there was a lot of tracking shots in this for a Wynorski film too. Like he was moving the camera and had some more resources than he usually has. And this fight scene cuts together real well because he got to use 3 cameras at once.
Right. No, it was one of his best fight scenes. It reminded me a lot of little Ted Pryor and Fritz Matthews action.
Yeah, they were going to town and they all cut together real well.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Back while they're fighting, back at his apartment, the Ghoulies have snuck into his apartment by, I guess, just kind of gently assaulting the janitor and stealing his clothes and his keys, because we see the janitor later and he seems like he's in fine condition. He just doesn't have any clothes or keys.
He's like, it's been a hell of a day. It happened again. I was assaulted at work, but no actual sexual assault. Just my pants were stolen. I hate this fucking place.
Exactly. When he goes home, his wife's like, sexual assault today? And he's like, no, they just took my coveralls again and didn't rape me.
And she was like,
I hate
sorry.
this job. And then she grabs a wooden spoon and, well, you know what happens next.
He gets a loose butt and can't poop straight anymore.
I decided she's going to make spaghetti. Comfort food. Jesus Christ.
Jesus, Justin?
I don't know what you guys are thinking.
How many people do you know shove wooden spoons up their butt?
What jokes do you want me to tell? You don't give me any guidance. I just say things and you guys look at me like I'm weird.
So I know what we're doing later.
Having spaghetti? Sounds wonderful.
I know, right?
Okay, so back at the warehouse, Manzuko's got a gun and he's like, oh, I'm going to fucking shoot you, you son of a bitch. And then somehow Graves starts glowing and then has laser powers that teleport Manzuko to the Purgatory place.
Which you don't find out for way later until somebody else just randomly has magic powers.
So, and I think
he randomly has magic powers.
Right. And what I kind of thought it was that Faust was like, oh, hell no. If he dies, then I can't come over. So I got to protect this guy. Thanks, Alexander, for being a fucking cuntbag about this. Now I have to save this asshole so that I can use him for the sacrifice and shove him in the portal.
Okay. That lines up. That checks out. Alexandra goes back to Graves' apartment, finds the Ghoulies. They're in there snooping around. They've also found his mace, and so they spray her in the face, and she's like, son of a bitch! Pepper spray! I hate it! and they run away from her.
So I got a question. Is mace and pepper spray, are they the same things?
Nope.
Nope.
Totally different. Pepper spray is its own chemical deterrent. Mace is not. It's less natural, say. I don't know that they make mace anymore because you can blind people with it.
Yeah. Don't mace me,
You
bro.
can blind people with pepper spray, too. That's the other thing. I mean, they're both nasty, but supposedly the pepper spray is more popular because, it's natural ingredients. It's like, it's juice from jalapeno seeds in my eyes. Doesn't matter if it's natural or not. Fuck that.
Well, you actually want it to be super or not natural because the more toxic waste is in it, the more likely you're going to gain superpowers.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
That checks out.
Well, and as a lady, I don't give a shit if it's natural or not. Or if you go blind from me spraying you in the face. If you're attacking me and I have to spray you in the face, fuck you.
Yet another reason why she doesn't have mace or pepper spray near the bed, because I would then be blind. And she'd be like, well, fuck you. That's what you get for attacking me while you're sleeping. That was Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah, I was just laying here.
All right, fine.
Yeah, you're not allowed to have weapons.
Of any kind.
Any kind.
Although I did buy myself a knife.
And it's where?
It was nice knowing you. I'm surprised she hasn't got you with a frying pan yet.
Okay, all right. So the Ghoulies are running away. Graves is at the doctor somehow. I guess he's like, whoa, that was pretty weird. I got superpowers. I should check myself into the doctor. The doctor's like, your face is broken. You've got different hair than you did 5 years ago. And you can't stop dropping poop out of your ass. We're going to keep you here for as long as it takes.
But we get a nice butt shot, and his buns were pretty nice. I'm going to put his buns on the hot cross buns list.
Whoa. All right. Peter
Leopis.
Peter Optology. You got a nice butt.
Hot cross buns.
All right. He's like, I'm not sticking around here. And Lady Cop's like, oh, yes, you are. Cut to them driving down the road.
Where his narcolepsy again kicks in, and he's
Right.
just sleeping the entire time while she's exposing the situation. So that, we can kill some more time before we have to get to the exciting conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
And they can go back to his apartment, and his two girlfriends can get catty with each other for
Right.
no reason. Because
Right.
this is something that Jim Wynorski thinks happens all the time over him.
Right.
Oh. Yeah, usually if I've ever met an ex-girlfriend, it's kind of like, okay. Well, because you know what? I will say that Jim has it right on this front. Women do this kind of weird shit.
You've
I've
got to
seen
better
it.
believe they do it.
I've been part of it where they're like, I'm his new girlfriend now, bitch. And I'm like, okay, yeah, great. I'm just here because he called because he crashed his car and needed a ride, and I guess you weren't available.
This is way too specific of a story, and I don't
Yeah.
think we all want to hear it
So
right now.
when I had this happen, like, you just got to get out of here, bud. She's my girlfriend now. And I had to say, so you don't want these pizzas? Ba-dum-bum.
And then she was like, no, we requested the pizza with extra sausage.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
Sam
guess I'll
goes,
just keep the pizzas then, you fucking assholes, and I leave. That's how it goes. I don't work at Domino's anymore, and I didn't like that either. So
Sam,
everybody
that
wins
was
that's named me.
She was telling you wobbly
I know.
H me.
Oh, yeah. So, okay. And then I'm out, and I get fired from Domino's too. But I got pizza.
Good job, Sam. Way to get severance.
You're like the Leroy Jenkins of pizza delivery guys.
Yeah.
I got pizza. All right, so where the fuck are we? Okay, so Alexandra's in a hallway, and she sacrifices a bum for the ritual. And Faust shows up, and he's like, oh, so hungry. Get me another sacrifice. And so she grabs some dude who's like leather jacket guy. I don't know what his deal is.
He's a greaser.
Yeah, and she's like, become a demon. And he becomes a demon. I don't know how or why.
So that's what the Faust guy's like, give me another sacrifice, and then she doesn't. She brings him this guy, and he's like, turn into a demon so I can ask you some questions that you should reasonably not have the answer to, and then that happens, and they're like, okay, go find Janine Michaels.
Right. And the jewel, she's got it. And
She's
I
got
couldn't
it.
understand a goddamn word that this fucking demon was saying anyways, because it's got like a phaser effect applied to its voice. It was so weird. So the ghoulies have found Hooker Lane.
They're not ghoulies.
Oh, right.
The trolls, munchies, guys.
And they are like, oh, this is where you go for a free ride. And they jump into the back of a guy's fucking truck.
Good Lord. This truck is fucking badass, though.
Oh, yeah. If you were going to be a
Speaking
serial killer of women, you would not want this truck.
Why?
No,
Because
it's like
it is-
that rum.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought you were, if you're a serial killer women, you just had like a van that
Yeah.
you need to
This-
have couches put into.
Yeah, this truck is all business. There's no room for serial killing.
Yeah, I mean,
So
like
this thing just jumps stuff.
if you go down to some place and you're like trying to load a couch into the back of that truck, you can't ask for help because you need like 4 guys because it's so high off the ground. It's a short
And it doesn't
thing.
even fit a couch in the back because it's a short box step side.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
It only fits one chair.
Can
This
you
thing
help
is
me
meant-
with this? Can you help me with this couch? And she's like, "No, you fucking idiot! That's the wrong car for that."
Yeah,
Oh.
she's like that. You can't do anything with that truck except jump over stuff. Don't try to move stuff with it.
You're a serial killer, aren't you? And you're bad at it. Kinda.
Bitchin' truck though.
Could you go ahead and just put this lotion on your skin though? Fuck you. Runs away. Gotta have a van, dude. And it can't be too bitchin' of a van because then you're just gonna
No.
bang ladies in it. Get your serial killing right.
I'm just saying, if I'm going to be a hooker, any guy who pulls up with a bitchin' van with like a wizard on the side,
Right.
I'm doing for free.
Right? Yeah. Hell yeah, man.
It's not a good business model, but you know what? It's the way I roll.
You could probably live in there and like go have adventures together.
Yeah.
This is my ticket out of here. Finally, the man of my dreams, my white knight has shown up, and he has a white knight literally painted on the side of his van.
Yeah. Look at the horse dick on this man.
No, he's got a van. It's not an impressive penis, Jackie. It's very average penis. The van is the penis. Okay. Anyway, so now they're in the back of this bitchin' truck. The girlfriend stops by Janine, whatever, and she stops by Grace's place, and she's like, "Oh, yeah," has that conversation that we talked about bitchiness.
My panties are in his laundry basket now, bitch.
Uh-huh. But she gets a page during this, and is like, I guess she's got hooker call, like she's a high-end hoe. And
She says pimps are such a pain in the ass,
right, yeah. She's
confirming that she is in fact a hooker.
right. I
With
thought she
all of
said-
the other lines of dialogue that clearly confirmed that she is a hooker.
I literally thought she said pages are such a pain in the ass because she had a pager. So I missed this whole thing. But anyways, she goes down to use the payphone because she's not allowed to use the one up there. She gets nabbed by Alexandra. She's like, hee, look over there. Boom, gotcha. And Faust is like, all right, we want to have the sacrifice now with her, I guess.
Bring her to the altar.
Bring her to the altar. Also, how am I here right now? Because you didn't do that pentagram thing. Kate sees them through the window, though, and she's like, oh, my God. Some hot babe is stealing your hot babe, and I'm a hot babe, and there's so many hot babes in trouble right now. Let's go, Graves.
She's like, look outside. Why? I don't know, because you like hookers and it's fucking hooker WrestleMania out there.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. So they go to the loony bin. And
Everyone's running around like a crazy person.
what are they doing at the loony bin?
They're going
That's
to
where-
the altar.
Yeah,
Why would
the
it be
altar's
at
at the
the-
loony bin.
Why would it be there?
Well,
Because
you know.
why not?
Okay.
So that they can have more crazy business with some lady dressed up like she's going to the prom, and then her sumo wrestler attack dog man.
Right. Bongo.
Yeah.
Bongo.
I don't understand this one at all.
Oh no, Bongo's on the loose. We missed the part though where on the way to the loony bin.
Oh God.
Kate gets hit straight up in the face with a used condom and is mildly not happy about it. She doesn't freak out or anything. She's just like, ew, throws it out the window and then goes on about her life.
Yeah. No, this is... No.
You get hit in the face with a used condom. You've had a bad day.
There's repercussions. She's a cop. She's like, oh, we have to save the world? I'll catch up. I got something to do right now to this guy who just hit me with a used condom.
Here.
It was quite full.
Hold my badge. I've got some things to take care of.
Yeah.
You want me to hold your gun too? No, I'm going to need that.
I'm going to need that.
Yeah, she's mildly upset by taking a condom to the face. No. Okay. So back at the altar, Bongo's on the loose, and Graves struggles with him for a little while, but then he gets his whole hands on like a floor lamp and beats up Bongo with it, and that's all it takes. Bongo's not very tough.
No, he's not. And he's not really that fat because he's got pillows in his shirt.
Right?
Yeah.
I prefer Mongo greatly. Outside, Alexandra has a gun on Brianna, Gianna, Sabrina, Brenda, whatever her name is. And she's like, you stay there because we're going to suck out your soul and give it to this spooky, floaty mat work guy that's floating over you.
They're gonna straight up just fucking stab her.
Well, he has to come back to life, though, in order to stab her.
Yeah.
Well, he takes his sweet ass time.
He's just hovering.
Yeah, if he would not have hovered for so long, they could have gotten this shit done. Instead, he's like, "Arr," for like 15 minutes.
Because
And
what
she's
does
like,
he
"Will you-"
need?
What?
He's got her. He's got the stone. It's on the altar. What does he need here?
I don't know.
Why is he fucking around?
He's like, hovering is sweet, dude. Just let me do my thing. Call. Somebody play some Danzig while I hover.
He's
That's what he was waiting for.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's waiting for his mom to leave the basement.
Yeah. Oh, get
so
out
he
of
can
here.
finish up.
I'm hovering. Damn it.
She's like, I hope you're not about ready to sacrifice somebody, young man.
Of course not. Get out of here. I'm hovering.
Would you like some pizza bites?
Yes.
Give me like 5 minutes.
No, I'll take the pizza bites now. Never mind. And then I'll come back to hovering. Pizza bites are pretty good. Maybe we should have pizza bites tonight.
Pizza.
All right. So Faust has like traded spots now with Graves. Like somehow he's like, you're out here. Boom, zoom. I'm in you now. And now Graves is wearing the hoodie, and maybe he was wearing the hoodie the whole time. Maybe they're the same actor. I'm not real sure. So now Faust is on the loose. And he's going to kill the girlfriend with the sacrifice knife, the sweet dagger that you always have to sacrifice somebody with. You got to have a curved dagger. I don't know why, but you do.
Yeah, you can't have a regular dagger. That's for fucking chumps.
What about like a steak knife?
No.
Well,
it's a ritualistic dagger. It's probably got like bullshit on it.
Yeah, there's two snakes fighting each other usually.
Right.
Yeah.
Can't do it with like a Rambo knife. Can't have sacrifices with a Rambo knife.
No,
Unless
it's just straight up murder.
Right, unless it's like Rostov or somebody, you know. Sacrifice him. I'll sacrifice you. You're my mortal enemy.
It's not a sacrifice. You just blow him up with a grenade launcher. It's like a flying barbecue.
I sacrifice you to the ground. All right, so he's gonna kill the Brianna, and Kate's like, "No, don't do it, don't do it." And she pulls a gun out, and he's like, "Oh, all right, fine. I'm gonna sacrifice you instead."
Yeah.
And then the ghoulies are like, "No,
Nope, they're not ghoulies.
Oh, right.
But this is when these two little fuckers finally decide to be involved with the plot of the film for the very first time.
And I'm not really sure what their motivations are, because they jump up, they grab the gem off the girlfriend, they chuck it over to Kate, and she's like, "Oh, I know how one of these works. Pew, pew, pew." She fucking zaps him with laser powers.
Well, she zaps Alexandra first.
Right. Which causes a vortex, and the ghoulies are like, "We're out of here."
See you later.
Sort of.
Even though they come back.
Right.
I don't know how.
Way
I guess
to
they got the
ruin it,
knowledge
Sam.
stone.
Yeah,
They got the knowledge stone. They can do anything. It's like
right,
Marvel.
I guess. Yeah, they just need to have the rest of the Infinity Gauntlet, and we're all screwed. And Graves and Manzuko jump out from Purgatory, and they're like, "Whoa, dude, you're here. That was sweet. That was crazy." He plants one on Kate, and she's like, my hero. Meanwhile, Manzuko and Brianna are like, "Oh, I've always liked men in uniform." And he's like, "I've always had a thing for prostitutes." And she's like, "Destiny. It's kismet." Yep.
Because he didn't learn his lesson the first time. He just hooked up with some loose lady and then ended up in a warehouse.
Which happened to be a man.
He seems like he's had an okay time thus
Manzuko?
far.
Yeah, right.
He's like, "Oh, this roller coaster again? Just got off, but I'm ready to get back on." Okay.
And then the Ghoulies come back out, get the gem, and tell us about the sequel. That doesn't happen.
Ghoulies 4, Part 2.
Right. No. More Ghoulies.
Like, you're not Ghoulies?
You're not Ghoulies.
That's the movie, guys. Give me some questions.
I have a question. I only have one question.
Why was this movie made?
And it's not, so these are Ghoulies?
Right.
No. So, do you think Eric Roberts can sue based upon a genetic infringement?
Excuse me, sir. I'd like to have my face back.
Yeah. That guy looks a lot like Eric Roberts.
I'm going to go
it's
with
uncanny.
No.
No.
Good.
You can't
Of
sue.
course not. Yeah,
Okay.
you can't be that's
Well,
lookalikes.
I'm glad you...
This guy would have a fine career if Eric Roberts wasn't a fucking nobody. He could be an Eric Roberts lookalike.
I'm really glad that you answered that rhetorical question, Jackie, with just a single word. No.
No.
It was rhetorical. Thank you.
So, I've got a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did they make a Ghoulies 5?
No.
Nope.
That's it. It's the end of the road.
In fact, I think didn't Cinetel, because Cinetel wasn't Wynorski's gig. He was just working for them, and I thought they were one of the companies that went under that he got all that footage from. So
Yeah.
he might own the Ghoulies and probably has no interest in making it again.
Probably not. My big question, and we kind of touched on it, is what's Faust's endgame? Like, what's he gonna do?
Make Ghoulies.
But he can't just make Ghoulies. They live someplace.
Bring Ghoulies to L.A.
For what?
Profit.
I don't know.
Yeah. Step 2. Step 3, profit.
The whole movie is like him trying to get into our world. Like, oh, I'm really hungry. Get me out of here. Sacrifice some people and get that gem. No, don't bring it to me, idiot. So that he can take over Graves' body and then sacrifice a lady and then
Have the sex with Alexandra.
That's it. Like, he just really wants to be in LA.
Yeah. And then what I think happens is that, they're together for a while. Everything's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
They're killing people, whatever.
They saw GNR last weekend down at
Right.
Sunset.
But then he goes to a dominatrix club
Okay.
and
All right.
meets another lady. And he's like, "I'm sorry, Alexandra, we need to break up." And she fucking freaks out and kills him.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
He's
And
been
then
in-
it makes we get a documentary later that appears on AMC.
Yep.
Go ahead.
He's been in his mom's basement this whole time, a.k.a. hell, pretending to listen to Danzig, when in actuality, he was listening to I Love L.A. by Randy Newman.
Oh, right.
Oh. Yep.
We love it. We love it. That's a great song.
The song sucks.
I love it. We love it.
All right, guys. Final recommendations on the Ghoulies 4. Sham.
Oh, it's an absolute do. And also a company that I watched it with enjoyed the shit out of it too. So
All right. Why?
it's just funny. He's a funny guy. The Ghoulies suck. It's not a Ghoulies movie. And in fact, this is like heavily bemoaned by fans of the Ghoulies. But when I watch it, I'm like, how can you actually be a fan of the Ghoulies? Because they kind of suck. And this is like, oh, I like this movie because it's not Ghoulies. I'm like, yeah, it's just Wynorski being Wynorski, and most of his dialogue, because he has to cover for not being able to use boobs. So he's a little bit funnier. He's a little sharper with the pen in this one.
All right. I'll go next. I think it's close to a do not. I didn't really enjoy it. I did not think that this was very good at all. It's still a do, but it's just barely over the line for me. Don't expect anything great if you like my recommendations. I think that there are some parts where I was like, oh god, this is fucking terrible. Like, it's almost munchy in my opinion. I don't know what Sam's talking about funny jokes. There was like 2. But actually we'll go to you, Jackie, and then I have one final question.
I'm going to give it a do. I'm with Sam. I thought that there was some witty humor in there and some physical comedy that they really tried hard to kind of showcase. And I thought it was fun. As far as the Ghoulies movies, I thought it was a Ghoulies movie with not Ghoulies.
Yeah,
definitely
you
not.
like
Same,
it because
like-
there's not any Ghoulies, which is where I'm at.
Right, but same bullshit, like weird plot premises of the supernatural, and I liked it.
Okay. I thought it was a little weak, but this does have very low ratings on the IMDb. It's got a 2.8 out of 10 on IMDb. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that we're all saying, like, unironically, dude, 2.8's pretty low.
That's
pretty low.
What
It's-
the hell, man?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that somebody is being a dick.
Yeah,
There's-
I
It's
think
not a 2.8.
that's
Charles
like,
Band hate votes going on.
Right. So yeah, it's definitely better than what the internet makes this film out to be. For me, like the Ghoulies series, actually, I'm not with Sam. They have this like uniqueness to them, this unique feel that they're not nearly goofball movies, but they're not exactly critters either, and they're not straight up horror movies, and they're not sleepy, boring movies like other Charles Band movies. There's like this unique feel to all of them, and it's missing from this movie. But that's just me, and I'm always right.
I think that Ghoulies Go to College isn't really, because none of them are related except for the first one and this one, and that's
the fourth
only
one,
by nonsense.
Right.
I always thought the third one was a little like, that was the one I thought was the most boring. Even though it should have been more exciting because they're going to college.
Yeah, panty raid.
It wasn't. It was lame.
Right.
Did you ever do a panty raid?
No. Dude.
Sexual harassment? No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Assault?
I was a grown ass man when I went to college.
The sorority that I lived in had a panty raid happen to it. And I hit some guy with a magnite flashlight
Nice.
to protect mine.
Nice. Tonight there's gonna be a
What?
panty raid.
Do you do with them after you get them?
Well, you put them on, silly.
Oh.
I think they just threw him
Give
away.
yourself
I
a
don't
man-
know. It was weird.
Give yourself a mangina and walk around. I'm a pretty lady. Duh.
Okay.
You guys don't know shit about college.
All right.
That's your episode, guys. Next week, it's my pick, and I will be starting a Justin trilogy of blaxploitation. Finally, we're going to do some blaxploitation films, starting with Isaac Hayes in Truck Turner. So,
Is that a trucking movie?
no, it's a blaxploitation movie starring Isaac Hayes. Just happens to be called Truck Turner
Oh,
because his name is Truck. Because he's a bad motherfucker.
well, it could have a truck in it.
Yeah, so get ready for that next week. We'll also be having a Corona-sode number 2 on Thursday released for you guys, so be sure to listen to that as well. Where
Promise not to get so drunk.
Yeah, Jackie will try to not be a sloppy bum. And we'll also have some streaming do's and don'ts on that episode, plus some listener feedback. Sam's going to have some segments I think he's got coming up, so...
Yeah, this week Sando is taking on ducks.
Oh, ducks. Okay, ducks.
Yeah.
Prepare for duck talk. Quack. Get to the chopper. Visit us at www.stinkermadness.com. Follow Stinker Madness on Twitter at Stinker Madness. Please rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher. Thank you for listening, and get to the chopper.